Hey besties, have you ever felt like an alien in the middle of a party? While everyone around you is gossiping about the latest scandal or trending movies, your mind is wandering off to your study plans, business projects, or a difficult new skill you're trying to master. People call you weird, eccentric, or say you're living in a fantasy just because you trade short-term fun for a lonely, long-term path. That feeling of isolation sometimes makes you wonder, am I wrong? Should I just be like everyone else? My answer is congratulations. Your current loneliness isn't a failure, it's proof that you are leaving the ranks of the ordinary to join the 1%. If you act like the crowd, you will get the results of the crowd. The eccentricity people label you with is actually a natural filter that separates leaders from the herd. In today's video, I'll decode why feeling out of place is actually a badge of honor and show you the clear difference between being eccentric for success and just being eccentric for attention. Stay tuned until the very end, because I'm giving you a powerful mirror test. It will help you see exactly if your current social circle is helping you soar or dragging you down. Don't miss it. Let's dive in. The conformity trap. Why are we so terrified of being called weird? The answer lies in your primitive brain. Tens of thousands of years ago, if you were kicked out of your tribe, you'd starve or get eaten by a predator instantly. Therefore, fitting in was a survival instinct. We are hardwired to feel safe when we are just like the crowd. But besties, we are living in 2026, not the Stone Age. Today, the predator isn't a tiger or a leopard, it's mediocrity. The conformity trap is dangerously comfortable. It whispers to you, you're tired from work, just scroll through your phone. Everyone does it. Or, why study that difficult skill? Just live a normal life like everyone else. When you try to be normal just to please those around you, you are accidentally suffocating your own unique potential. Remember, normal is just another word for average. And there is no true freedom in the average lane. The crowd can give you a false sense of security, but they cannot give you the life of your dreams. Why successful people look eccentric? Eccentricity isn't a choice to show off. It's a side effect of extreme focus. Take a look at the difference between your priority system and that of the crowd. While 99% of people are investing all their money and time in software, the superficial things like designer clothes, fancy check-ins, or gossiping about the latest drama just to have something to talk about with coworkers, the 1% are busy upgrading their operating system. They spend money on courses, time mastering difficult skills, and energy protecting their mental health. Because these two groups are running on completely different operating systems, it's only natural that they don't understand each other. When you decline a night out to stay home and read, in their eyes, you're antisocial. When you talk about investment mindsets instead of celebrity scandals, they find you boring. The truth is, successful people look eccentric because they no longer use the same value metrics as society. They don't need the crowd's approval, they only need their own progress. Remember, besties, don't let people who are standing still judge the steps of someone who is running. Eccentric for results versus eccentric for attention. You need to stay sharp here, besties, because there's a very fine line between being a genius and just being delusional. There are two types of eccentricity you must distinguish to avoid becoming a joke. First is substance-driven eccentricity. This is the natural result of extreme focus. You become weird because you are busy investing time in things with real value. You decline a night at the bar not to show off, but because you genuinely need those 4 hours to master a new skill or research a project. This type of eccentricity has purpose, discipline, and most importantly, it produces results. The 1% don't try to be eccentric. They're simply too busy with their goals to play the role of a normal person anymore. Second is attention-driven eccentricity. This is when you intentionally do weird things or make shocking statements, just so people look at you, but there's nothing of substance inside. This type of eccentricity lacks depth. It doesn't make you better. It only feeds an ego that craves the spotlight. Remember, don't try to be an empty weirdo just to be different from the crowd. Focus on becoming a valuable outlier. When you produce results that the crowd can't achieve, your eccentricity will then be called elite. The social cost of excellence. Here's a painful truth. When you start getting better, the people around you, Even those closest to you might start feeling uncomfortable. They'll say things like, "You've changed. Why are you studying so much?" Or, "Stop dreaming so big. Stay grounded." Why do they do this? Do they hate you? Usually no. They do it because your growth inadvertently becomes a mirror that reflects their own stagnation. When they see you staying up late to study while they are scrolling social media, they feel threatened. If you succeed, it proves that they've been lazy. Therefore, the easiest way for them to feel better is to pull you back down to the normal level they are at. This is the crab mentality. If you put a group of crabs in a bucket, when one tries to climb out, the others will use their claws to pull it back down. Accept that loneliness and judgment are a form of social tax. You must pay for excellence. You cannot please everyone and join the 1% at the same time. Don't waste time explaining or arguing. Your job is to quietly move forward until your results leave them with no choice but to stay silent and admire you. Turning solitude into power. Remember this, besties. Every great transformation happens in silence. A silkworm must confine itself in a cramped and lonely cocoon before it can turn into a butterfly and soar. The loneliness you are experiencing right now is exactly that cocoon stage. Instead of fearing solitude, fear having nothing to do when you are alone. When you are by yourself, that's when the noise from society completely disappears. There is no one to judge, no one to compare, and no one to impose their standards on you. This is the golden time to hear your own voice most clearly. It's also the time for deep work, tasks that require absolute focus. You can't build an empire in the middle of a noisy party. You can only do it when sitting alone with your goals. The top 1% don't avoid solitude, they leverage it. They view it as a private laboratory to hone their skills until they reach mastery. So when you feel out of place, don't try to fit in just to feel less lonely. Pick up your pen, open your laptop, and turn that silence into the launch pad for your next big leap. To wrap it up, besties, never feel guilty for being different. The eccentricity that people judge is actually a medal for your courage in leaving the ranks of the ordinary. Keep these three things in mind to stay steady on your path. Solitude is a filter. It helps you eliminate low-quality relationships. Valuable difference, focus on the core, skills, knowledge, instead of decorating the facade, fake approval. Solitude is a launchpad. Leverage the silence to hone yourself to the point of mastery. And here is the bonus, the powerful mirror test to show you exactly where you stand. Take a piece of paper and write down the names of the 5 people you spend the most time with every day. Then ask yourself, if you are the most hardworking person in that group, if you are the only one learning something new every day, if you are the only one labeled as weird for worrying about the future, then congratulations, you have officially outgrown this level. It's time to maintain that eccentricity and move up to a higher level, where you will meet other weirdos who are smarter, wealthier, and on the same frequency as you. Don't fear being out of place. Fear being exactly like everyone else. If this video felt like a timely hug for your hard work, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to join me on the road to the 1%. For now, keep being eccentric in your own magnificent way. Bye-bye.